Our next guest is a definition of a true hero. Terry Newsom is a fearless advocate for parental rights and conservative values, standing at the forefront of the battle against radical ideologies in schools and communities. As president of the Illinois chapter of Parents Involved in Education, Terry is a driving force for parents fighting against political grooming, indoctrination, and the sexualization of children. His leadership and activism have positioned him as a recognized figure in the national conversation on these critical issues. A dedicated father of twins and a two-time cancer survivor, stage 4 prostate cancer and stage 3 melanoma, Terry's activism began when he discovered inappropriate materials being presented in his children's school. After confronting the District 99 school board, he became a target for radical left-wing activists, including Antifa, the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, and mainstream media outlets. Go figure. Undeterred, Terry has relentlessly exposed political corruption, fought against the establishment, and advocated for transparency, integrity, and accountability in both the Democratic and Republican parties. This is the Counterculture Mom Show. I'm your host, Tina Griffin. Excited to hear from a man who's never been a bench warmer, help others get in the game. We're talking about terrorism in America with host of Behind Enemy Lines, Terry Newsom. Terry, how you doing today, buddy?
Hi, Tina. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for the bio. Appreciate it.
Well, you're working nonstop around the clock, and you look like you get sleep. So what did you do, clone yourself?
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. This politics is like a full-time job, and I have a full-time job. And I think what we're doing, all of us, is for the future of our kids. That's why I got into it. And I really believe we're in a war. Most people don't even know we're in a war, and we're losing the war. And that's why I'm doing it.
Absolutely correct. We have a guest in this series talking about the 45 communist goals that have been written a couple decades ago, and I've been talking about that for 30 years. All of those goals have been met, which I know you know full well, except for one goal on how to get America communist. Like, the communist goals are just insane, and that is to take over a police force, and we're almost there. So most of those goals are the indoctrination of our kids through entertainment, through education. That's why you went full force. I couldn't agree more. Most people do not even know that this is all going on, and there's so much of it. Can you take us back to that day where you saw inappropriate content with your kids in school? What unraveled? What did you see? How did you find out?
Yeah, I was raised Southwest Side Italian Union Democrat family, whole neighborhood, right? Didn't know anything, never was involved in politics. I'm 63. I got remarried with younger kids. I first went, they're seniors. I went when they were freshmen, about the forced masking. I was irate about that, right? I knew it was hurting our kids, regardless of what the government said. And all us parents were right? And the radical Marxist school board gives no respect to the moms. No fathers are helping the moms. I was mad about that as well. And so that's why I went. And then one of the mothers showed me the book Genderqueer. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, this is not in our kids' school. It's not in our kids' school. And she's like, it is. Then I had my son show it to me and take a picture from his library. And that disgusted me. And I thought I would get an army of parents, left, Republicans, independents, and it didn't turn out that way. We have fathers that don't want to get involved because of their jobs, right? It's going to be easier now, but back then I'm like, listen, I don't want to lose my job, but at the same time, if we don't have a country for our children, who gives a crap about our job, right? What good is a job without a country?
Oh my gosh. But it's so demonic. This whole thing is such a demonic attack, because I can see how you men have your hands tied behind your back because you also want to provide for your family. But I completely agree. There would be no family to go home to if your kids are in counseling because or suicidal. And so many kids have committed suicide because of all these different things going on, and body parts being chopped off during school hours. It's horrific. I just spoke and got really fired up at this Republican women's conference yesterday with a bunch of women, and I rattled off 15 different issues that we got to try to solve, not to make it feel overwhelmed, but the fact that there is a huge assignment that we have to grab one of those topics and get after it. You literally attacked 17 different topics and issues that you saw. So this horrific book that was in the school library, did your kids already read it and see it?
No, I had them go seek it out. So it was just in the library at first, Genderqueer. There's many, many others, and there's even more now. And I could use up the whole time talking about this, but so we could pivot to the terrorism part. But real quickly is that, I aggressively confronted them. One of the moms in my group on the other side, leftist, was an Antifa member. And then she got Antifa to take our pictures, and that's how we mentioned Antifa. Then they started tagging us on their Antifa sites and making threats about me and this other dad, and that kind of snowballed into something bigger. And then I protested against and stopped at our library. Radical Marxists. This used to be one of the reddest counties in the whole Midwest. Now the cancer from Chicago spread out here, just like the southern states are being crushed by Republicans. They had drag bingo with sixth grade kids by a transvestite named Aurora Devine, an Italian guy, full beard, heels, skirt, makeup, was going to come in and sing Katy Perry songs and play bingo with children. I helped stop that. The next thing was drag Santa Claus at the library, the church in the parking lot. I went there. It was on HBO. They happened to be there. I was dressed up as Bad Santa. And then the newest thing. So I'm gonna, I've been focused on the terror threats and what we're going to talk about, right? But I'm pivoting back this year to go back to the schools because, like, the library keeps overreaching now. They got all liberals. They just had pride reading for 2-year-old babies. Can you help me understand what they say? They don't groom, they don't indoctrinate, they're not pedos. Why are you reading? Some slow babies are still in diapers or don't even talk. So what is the purpose? There's a transgender baby at 2, or they think they're gay that they're going to have. That's BS. This is a perfect example of how they're trying to poison, indoctrinate our young babies at that age. And if anyone wants to defend that, I'm aggressively calling them out.
Amen to that. And Antifa went after you guys to try to make an example. If you even think about sticking your neck out for the sake of our kids, you're going to be put in the chopping block. Well, are we willing to die for the cause? Absolutely, yes. And God is going to say, well done, good and faithful servant, for the people that put their head in the guillotine versus those that stood by and watched. I usually use Satan here because this is typically where this is coming from. Satan wants to steal, kill, and destroy. We know that. It's all over Scripture. God warned us in the end times it's only going to escalate. Alex McFarland, a dear friend of mine, you guys have to look that guy up. He's phenomenal. Been on different speaking tours with him around this globe for the last 15, 20 years. Save America tours. Phenomenal guy. And he just blasted out that I've got this morning. I was trying to find it as you were just explaining the fact that this, in the last 48 hours since the inauguration, because we taped these episodes early, the level of demonic activity on American soil has skyrocketed. Whole different beast of a good versus evil. And I can slice it like a knife. I can feel it. So the fact that you're sticking your neck out, I can totally see, Terry, that yes, the devil's going to try to stop you and your team, try to stop me and anybody else out there. But at the same time, we know that God is not going to let us get injured. He's going to protect us because he's given us a huge calling on our life. The other thing is, this is so demonic that I wouldn't be surprised if many, if not all, Antifa members are trying to justify their own actions on their own lifestyles and pushing it down other children's throats. And at the same time, woe to those, God says, better to tie a millstone around your neck than to harm my little ones. And these people, I believe, are demon possessed. I
agree with you.
Yes. So we have to pray for them. And maybe if you've got an Antifa family member, take them to a church service, blindfold them if you have to at this point, and let's get those demons out of them, because you'll have a whole different person. They are trying to literally stop our young children from growing into the godly person that Christ wants them to grow into so they can even procreate. They are trying to do a transhumanism, AI technology, wipe the human race. How do you do that? By Planned Parenthood, which has nothing to do with having a kid, and also through this, trying to have them be with the same sex so there's no procreation happening as a result. Now you got me, I'm burning a hole in my seat. Let's go to you got me all fired up and you said like one question was answered. We're going to be back with Terry to talk more about terrorism, a different side of terrorism, because this is terrorism, Terry, what you just described, terrorism against our kids. So more with Terry right after this.
Are you looking to deepen your faith while supporting small businesses in the Holy Land? Look no further than Artza, the Christian subscription box that brings the Bible to life. Every quarter, you'll receive a carefully curated box directly from Israel, filled with handcrafted gifts, foods, and treasures made by Israeli artisans. Every purchase directly supports the community and economy of the Holy Land. Artza is your opportunity to connect with the rich history and culture of the land where Jesus walked, with each item lovingly crafted and selected to bring the stories of the Holy Land to life in your own home. Over 100,000 boxes have been sold to date, and the community is rapidly growing. Join the Artza community today at artzabox.com and use code TINA for a 20% discount on all purchases. That's artzabox.com. Code TINA. Experience the joy of discovering and connecting to the Holy Land. James 5:16 reminds us to confess our sins to one another and pray for each other so we may be healed. It's not enough to admit the church body has a hidden porn problem. Church leaders need the tools to help people find freedom. The Healing Church book by Covenant Eyes cuts through the confusion. Here's what to expect from this phenomenal read. Learn why sex isn't the real problem regarding pornography. Discern how porn undermines ministry in the local church. Understand how porn affects men and women differently and how to help them. The church has a choice. It can ignore the porn problem, or it can lead people by grace to the foot of the cross, where strongholds are crushed and strong servants arise. Get your free copy of the Healing Church book in the mail today. Scan the QR code on the screen or text the word VICTORY to the number 66866. This book is a must-read for ministry leaders, parents, and counselors. Text VICTORY to the number 66866. Together with our friends at Covenant Eyes, we can help the church conquer pornography once and for all.
I only get one childhood.
Social media is taking it away from me. It makes us worry more. It makes us feel bad about ourselves.
I want my childhood
I want
back.
my childhood back. My childhood back.
Protect their childhood with Gab. Kids save phones and watches with no internet, no social media, and no worries. Gab, safely connected.
It's a no-brainer, but why did you join this battle to save America?
Because I love my children, I love my country. I got involved, and I was seeing that there was this evil influences. It's absolutely evils trying to overcome our children. They started in the college. They're creeping into high schools. They are in the high schools. They're creeping to grammar schools. I wanted to save my kids from being brainwashed and destroyed. Save my kids and save my country, because this is absolutely good versus evil. It's not really Democrat versus Republicans. I mean, it's kind of divided up. It's good versus evil. And then I started seeing all these other elements, including what we're going to talk about. There's some forces here trying to destroy America. You destroy America, you destroy the world. And there's people there's evil forces, and you take us out and you implement all these things that are intertwined. They're all intertwined together to destroy us. So we, pivot from the parent thing, and I live in Downers Grove, and in my suburb, the train tracks run into the city of Chicago. Mayor Johnson said no buses could be dropped off in the city of Chicago. He's going to impound them, more for looks, because he doesn't care. So they dropped over 1,000 buses in not just in my location, my train. There's multiple suburbs that run into Chicago, and they started just dumping them off at the nice suburbs, my suburb here.
Wow.
And I went there, I started filming. The first bus was a mix. Second bus was mostly men flashing their gang signs as soon as they got off the bus from Mexico. Not even 20 feet. The guys, I get in their face and flashing his gang. That's at Pilsen. That's another guy. That's a Trent Largo guy. There's so many different ones of the one close up of the guy. That's at another train station as they got off the train station from the bus when they drop them off, and that's in Chicago.
Okay, so these are the people getting bussed into your communities that obviously drugs, rape, sex. I mean, they're gangsters. They're criminals. Where the criminals are going free, good guys are getting locked up, getting beat up. The January 6ers, don't even get me started on the people that are in there. We had Jake Lang on our program talking from prison. The good is looked upon as evil. Evil is now looked upon as good. We can see that Christ is right around the corner. What can we do with these gangsters that are coming in? You mentioned the name of that gang. Can you say that again? And who are they?
It's Trent Largo. They're the prison gang that was started in 1994 from Venezuela. And you'll see, if you see some of my pictures, they got Bulls, hats on, right? And apparel. It has nothing to do with Chicago. It has to do, Michael Jordan was big time then. That's their colors. That's their prison gang colors. That's how they know who each other is. And all those pictures I have were from different shelters in the Chicagoland area. There's hundreds of them here. So whatever number they were saying before under the Biden administration is not true. Mm-hmm. So I started following them. I got into two of the shelters. I'm Italian. I look Hispanic, so I got into two of the shelters before they realized I couldn't speak Spanish. And, I had confrontations and stuff, but I noticed in 2 shelters, they had metal detectors and wands, 5 security guards, everybody. These poor innocent asylum seekers that were told they commit no crimes, right? They all have to go through metal detectors. How many hotels or living quarters did you have to go through there? So then I started running FOIAs, Freedom of Information Requests. And then I felt like I would do 12 rolling months from different shelters going back to that address. So one had 250, another one had 400, another one had 700 police reports per 12 months.
Wow.
And then many of them don't even get arrested. So they talk about arrests, but they don't arrest many of them because they're told not to. So the numbers are even inflated. Now, keep in mind, they're coming into the suburb. My neighbor, a doctor down the block from me, house was robbed by Venezuelan gang members. The Oakbrook Mall, nice high-end mall. Matter of fact, just last night, I sent this stuff to Tom. My friend is the chief of police there. 4 Trent Largo guys were caught doing organized shoplifting. He got 120 of them in the last year.
And what's going to happen if you have 10, 20, 30 of them coming out at once? We can't arm ourselves according to what the signs are on the door. And then if we are caught with a gun on us, we're going to prison. It's very, very alarming that these people, but of course, the people behind the scenes that are allowing them to even come or inviting them in, they want to destroy America. We got the wrong people in office. And of course, one of your main concerns for the kids here in America and our future is that the kids even stay alive because of everything that these gang members are doing in this area. Very, very alarming. I will tell you that in Nashville, I don't know if this made news at all because people are telling me, nope, it didn't, but it's accurate. There are people right now being shot and killed in front of their families right here in Nashville by Venezuelan gang members. We have a massive influx. My husband has a roofing insurance business and farmers are fully armed by the time my husband comes down the long driveway and he's like, "You're armed?" He goes, "I want to make sure you were who you were because we see Venezuelan gang members trailing behind the back 40 behind our farms day and night with weapons." What are these people getting ready for? Do you think there's going to be it's go time from the demonic forces that are currently still in play in our government today that tell these gang members we're all going to strike at the same time?
Well, here's a perfect example of how this is intertwined. J.B. Pritzker, right? My governor is a piece of crap. He's pushing this porn. We can't even appeal it anymore. He'll say if we win the whole school board and we take all the porn out, he's going to withhold our tax dollars from the state of Illinois, right? He put tampon machines in our kids' rooms, boys' bathrooms. He just changed the law. After 3 months, you illegals can change your name to make it harder for the police. He also made it say if you own your business and your husband wants to hire and make sure they're legal. We have E-Verify. He made it illegal for the businesses to check if they're illegal, right? And this is the same man that's pushing transgender. It's all tied together. These things are not to make our state better. It's not.
Okay.
This is to destroy us.
That destroy us. Okay, so I'm going to just say right now he's demon possessed. We got to pray for the man, but we have to get him out of his position. How can we get rid of him?
So I got 2 referendums I'm working actually right now to remove sanctuary state and remove sanctuary city. I'm working with minorities, Hispanics, pastors and stuff. And what we're going to do is weaponize this to put it on a referendum in 2026.
These evildoers, if they would ever get attacked by Antifa themselves or be attacked and as they're walking to their vehicle for cash or held at gunpoint, you wonder if they would ever literally make different decisions, even if they don't believe in God, hate God, because that's basically what it is. You're either for God or against God. You believe in them or you don't. And that we see the reactions of that. I just wonder if their whole mindset would be different if they were personally affected the way so many of you and us are affected every single day. Secondly, the thing that drives me nuts, being in the Hollywood Hills for a good decade, seeing pictures like this today makes my blood boil, where celebrities are like, we got to disarm everybody, as they have 42 guards around their stages and next to them as they're performing half naked on the stage for our 9-year-old girls.
Yes. One other thing I want to, because I'm sure we're short on time, is I've got so many FOIAs, and I don't know if I sent any of you. I'm a Catholic. I'm not a good Catholic, which means I'm a normal Catholic. I can do a confession on Sunday and start all over on Monday. It's a joke. So I am. But Catholic Charities, did I send you the FOIAs I got on them?
No.
Oh, my God. They're so dirty, corrupt. My mom, Italian, 85, she's done with them. So I got internal PowerPoints, emails between them and the city of Chicago. They were putting up 55 apartments, signing the leases, signing the gas, the power and everything, 55 a day. While I've got other videos. I would go into these homeless camps, almost all African Americans. They're sleeping in these tents last year when it was freezing like this a year ago. And then one guy told me how he tried to get on the Venezuelan warming buses that I later found out through FOIAs, the Department of Transportation, Joe Biden's special assistant. I got her email sent in the city of Chicago because, we'll fund 10 buses, 24/7, union bus drivers for the whole year to put them by these overload intake shelters where a block away these poor homeless people are. They tried to get on the buses. They pushed them off. The one guy told me, I'll send you the video. His friends were losing fingers and toes. One black lady died, and they were not allowing these people. Catholic Charities is an evil. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're Catholic.
Hey, no, we're saying it like it is in 2025. We got little time left.
I was raised Catholic, and it's an embarrassment of what this religion is doing. I went to one of the shelters, a translator. I goes, Catholic Charities helping you here at the facility? He goes, yes. Did Catholic Charities help you at the border? My translator goes, yes. I go, did you have to pay the cartels to get through to the United States? Yes. So Catholic Charities is no different than a drug mule.
We're going to go to another short commercial break, even though at this point I don't want to because you have me all fired up. We're going to be back with Terry to find out what we can do about this mess right after this.
Can we trust what's written in the book of Genesis? How could a flood cover the entire earth? And where do dinosaurs fit in the Bible? Find the answers to these questions and more at the ICR Discovery Center in Dallas. Bring family and friends to experience the wonders of creation through our exhibit hall and stunning planetarium shows. Experience the origins of our universe. Step aboard Noah's Ark, chill in our Ice Age theater, meet the founders of science, encounter animatronic animals, and so much more. Our scientists' work is on display in the current research exhibit, and our biology research laboratory showcases our experiments. And don't forget to shop the Discovery Store for t-shirts, books, gifts, and more. Discover how science confirms the Bible today.
Bring your family and friends to the ICR Discovery Center in Dallas. To plan your visit, go to icr.org/Tina. That's icr.org/TINA.
Hey, where's Addie?
You didn't hear? She caught the scrolls.
You mean that thing where you're scrolling on social media and your hand turns into a claw and you waste hours of your life?
I've had it.
It's going around. My neck still hurts.
I caught the scrolls last summer.
I missed my own birthday.
I missed my whole summer vacation.
I'm so sorry.
Stop the scrolls with Gab. Kids-safe phones and watches with no internet, no social media, and no worries. Gab, safely connected.
Hey, everybody, let's team up to shake up to wake up your neighborhood. I would be honored to come to your school, church, summer camp, prison, and any other loving or dangerous environment to share the truth about today's pop culture with videos, celeb quotes, video game footage, personal stories from my years in the Hollywood Hills. You name it, it's a wild, spicy message. Teens and tweens won't look at entertainment the same way again, and your arguments regarding what your children can and can't watch will become less and less. I will give them the dirt to prove that Satan wants to kill, steal, and destroy, and God has much more in store for your kids. This Hollywood Exposed program talks about the negative side of Hollywood, but I also give many positive entertainment options for you and your household. The process is easy. Just fill out the short booking form on our website by clicking on the Book Tina tab at counterculturemom.com, and our team will get back to you within minutes. Once again, counterculturemom.com. Let's work together to show the evidence needed for our kids to make wise media choices that will uplift and encourage them to live a life of integrity. Terry, if there's any bench warmers out there, they're afraid to stick their neck out because they got butchered in the past. What do you want to tell these people right now on jumping in the game and jumping in the battle?
So this goes to everyone, but first I want to specifically call out fathers. Dads, you got to get off your butts and you got to help our wives in the schools. I'm tired of going there and seeing all these women having to fight for our kids without, it got a little bit better, Tina, over a little bit, but it's, you guys need to be out there and getting in the faces of these school board people and yelling at them, calling them out, and making your wives feel comfortable that you got their back.
So let's all work together. God will hold us accountable to that. Terry, you're phenomenal. Keep up the excellent work. People have to go to your website. I know they'll want to be encouraged, because a lot of my viewers and watchers, they're already on the front of the battle lines needing encouragement every week. Keep at it, people. Fighting behind EnemyLines.com. Connect with Terry immediately. He has a homepage podcast you got to check out. Terry, you're phenomenal. Keep up the excellent work. We're going to have you back on sooner than later. I already made a whole Post-it note of list of topics I got to talk to you about because I know you'll be able to give us a lot more insight on a lot of different areas. Everybody out there, watch all 4 episodes immediately this week and share them with the masses. We're looking to raise $250,000. You heard me. If you want to contact businesses, if you want to be an anchor donor, we'd love to have you. I really think that's an easy feat. And that would cover our total show production for the rest of the year. Let's make it happen, people. Terry, you rock. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you for battling for our kids.